Bam! World Media, what's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée from Poppin Crypto, and we are here at Money 2020 in Las Vegas, the biggest fintech conference in the world. And we're gonna be talking to some of the top banks, fintech companies, and we're gonna be asking them how they're integrating blockchain technology into the future of their businesses. So stay tuned. I'm gonna lead you to the money. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée here at Money 2020 for Poppin Crypto, and we're going to start off our first interview. This is the first day with Jorge.
So the company name is LendingFront. We are out of New York, and we are an embedded lending platform. Basically, we enable small businesses to get capital through their point of sale system. We think that the future of SMB lending, like the way small merchants are going to get capital, is through this type of technology, right through their POS device. So standardized across the U.S.
Standardized across the U.S. in 2 years?
Hopefully.
In the future, how will your company reflect any integration with blockchain tech?
A lot of our clients are banks, right? And they lend and they look at assets. So this is a great way to basically assign value of an asset through the blockchain, and it follows that small business.
We're going to see how that all unfolds here at Money 2020. What are your goals?
So we're meeting clients, investors. It's just connection.
We're going to jump right into the lightning round. Let's give this a try. Name your top 3 cryptos and why.
Well, obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, because it's the only one I remember.
All right, how about that? Have we seen the bottom of the markets? And if not, what are your targets?
I would say no. Maybe from the market in terms of the stock market, maybe, but not from unemployment, right? That's a lagging effect. So, still probably drop another 10, 15%.
Is it drop another 10 to 15% in the S&P 500? Time for shameless shill. What makes your company special and unique, but totally different than anyone else I'm going to meet this week?
We are the only ones that are truly embedded white label enablement.
Name of your company and the city of your headquarters as well, and tell us about your product and services in a nutshell.
Yeah, Tacen Incorporated. We're proudly from Cheyenne, Wyoming. We're a security company in the crypto space. We've built out a crypto exchange that you don't have to give your crypto to the exchange to trade. We're trustless. Well, 2 years from now, we want everybody around here, retail and banking customers, kind of get into this idea of not having to trust people with your crypto. So we're the only exchange out there on the market right now where you don't need to trust the people operating it. People don't want rug pulls. They don't want seizures. They don't want blockages of withdrawals. They want to trade their crypto and have access to it. In 2 years, we want to be as big as Coinbase.
Yeah, right here. You heard it here first on Poppin Crypto. In the future, how will your company reflect any other integration with blockchain tech?
I mean, we're pretty much at the core, right? So any blockchain that comes out, we can integrate into being able to trade. The way that we do this is we can do cross-chain crypto trading as well. So anything that's coming out, we're going to roll in. Any new chains, any new technologies, we're going to bring it all in. Think of it as an array of decentralized exchanges. One for ETH, one for Solana, one for everything. All trading and settling together.
We're going to see how that all unfolds, but at Money 2020, what are your goals?
Talk to guys like you, get the word out there, right? Who doesn't want to not expose themselves to risk, right?
They got a nice corner booth here, right out here in the open, and so you're definitely going to be doing that well. Lightning round. Let's give this a try. Name your top 3 cryptos and why.
Always Bitcoin. Bitcoin since the beginning. Hasn't been hacked. Biggest store of value that we have. Love it. Ethereum. First programmable crypto. Third, I'd have to say Solana. There's a lot of good NFTs going out on Solana right now. I don't know if it's going to scale, but I do like the ecosystem they're putting out around it.
Have we seen the bottom of the markets? And if not, what are your targets?
I think the bottom of the market is not a crypto question. I think that is like a macroeconomic question. All I know is there's tons of companies here building great stuff. So we're always building more value. If the price is going down, if the price is going up, I really don't look at it that way. I look at it like people like my team, all the different people here are building and growing. So I think there's still value being created. We're the only exchange out there that you can trade on a central order book that you don't have to deposit your assets into. It's the only one you're protected from government regulation, seizures, bankruptcy, any of that. Like we all know what happened with Celsius and Voyager and all of these like crypto projects where people couldn't withdraw. We've built a protection layer towards consumers. So we are consumer centric. We are the ones that are fighting for the little guys to make sure they don't lose their money or have their money taken from them in a way that shouldn't happen.
Right, so basically it's kept in your own wallet the whole entire time. That's usually what a DEX is, right? Okay. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée here at Money 2020 representing Poppin Crypto, and I want to give you a quick $1 million minute because this is something that a lot of people have been talking about lately, and it's what kind of trader do you want to be? You can be a day trader, a swing trader, or a long-term investor, and the difference matters a lot. Day trading means that you buy and sell within the same day. And so a lot of times people are, you got to be really experienced to do that because you got to react fast, you got to pay a lot of close attention, plus you got to have at least $20,000 in your brokerage account, at least that's if it's stocks. Now, a swing trader means that you take more than one day to trade. So that means you might buy today, sell tomorrow. Might buy this week, sell next week. And a swing trade could be as long as you want it to be. It might be over several months even. But usually when you start talking about a year or longer, it's what we call a long-term investor. It's something that you might dollar cost average in, slowly over time add a little bit to it. But over time, you plan on your wealth to grow long-term. You're not in there micro trading in and out, in and out. That's the difference between swing trader, day trader, and long-term investor. And that's Poppin Crypto with your boy Cassius Cuvée, $1 Million Minute.
So our company name is Terrapay. We are headquartered in the UK. We are a global remittance infrastructure company, typically creating an infrastructure where we marry the send corridors with the receive corridors. Today we power almost 203 send countries and 104 receive countries. And 97% of our transactions actually get processed inside a minute. I think we are here to create an impact. We are here to engage with our existing customers. Idea is to deepen the existing relationships as well as create new bonds and tie-ups. I think with our focus on further diversifying into payments, which will act as an enabler to our remittance business, I see US as a big market, more from originating a lot of transactions and terminating it into the other corridors.
So we are Invest Lithuania. We work to attract global fintechs in our country. So we're based out of Europe, Lithuania, a small country by the Baltic Sea, very beautiful, a bit chilly right now. So Vegas weather is a nice change of pace. 2 years from now, well, I just hope that we continue building upon what we have. I hope that we continue to build fintech ecosystem, that we have more innovative companies doing engineering, operations, finance, everything out of Lithuania to serve their European strategy goals.
So in the future, how will your company reflect any type of integration with blockchain tech?
Right, so I think, crypto folks may not like to hear it, but in Europe, MiCA regulation is coming, right? So European regulation on crypto assets. So we hope that to make the integration towards that regulation as efficient to build crypto blockchain there in Lithuania.
So we're going to see how that all unfolds, but at Money 2020, what are your goals?
Yeah, so just speak to as many companies as we can, make good connections, shake hands.
All right, you ready for the lightning round? All right, let's give it a try. Top 3 cryptos and why?
Personal opinion, not representative of my government. I had to do that. But I think I'm a bit of a Bitcoin maximalist myself, so Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin? Yes, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin.
All right. Have we seen the bottom of the markets? And if so, if not, what are your targets?
For my sake, I hope we saw the bottom. That's how much I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
New York Community Bank, headquartered in Hicksville, New York. Been there for about a year. And we are a bank that is about $65 billion of assets.
$65 billion in assets. You hear that with a B. All right. So that's the what and the how. Where do you see your company 2 years from now?
Well, great question. A lot more digitally forward than we are today.
In the future, how would your company reflect any integration with blockchain tech?
Yeah, I think that, I just hit it. I think we're looking at blockchain as a way to streamline how banks interact with their customers, how we interact with other financial institutions, and use the blockchain as a ledger to replace dated legacy core systems. I am not going to predict the bottom because I don't think we're there yet. I don't know where it goes. I'm not an economist. They're wrong half the time. I think we have gotten close to a bottom with some of the blowups that we've had in the marketplace, which is, I think, a great thing that's happening.
We are iProof. We're a company that started 12 years ago in London, in the United Kingdom. We basically provide genuine presence assurance. We want to make sure that you can guarantee that the person who's doing any transaction across an untrusted network is a real person, the correct person, and doing so in real time.
All right, how about that? Some great ID stuff here. That was the what and the how. Where do you see your company 2 years from now?
Blowing up. This is going to be integrated into banks, pawn shops, immigration. Anyone who wants to really validate that the real human is doing the transaction needs this as part of their app. So we're the gateway into blockchain. Blockchain is great because it's indelible, unchangeable, but we want to make sure that what goes into the blockchain is the right information. So we bridge from the real human to the digital human. And the only way to make sure that what goes into blockchain isn't crap is to get that gateway right.
Digital ID is very important in blockchain. Everybody in crypto knows that for sure.
Personally, I'm here to represent Latin America. It is an absolutely unmet market today. Difficult, fragmented, different regulations, but we're seeing a lot of customers from Latin America here in Las Vegas coming to see what's coming because every country in Latin America is looking for a solution. and that's why we're here.
Name your top 3 cryptos and why.
Shiba Inu, number 1. Then you got to go Bitcoin because it's still going up. I don't care what they say, it's still going up. And then crypto.
Pro crypto in general.
Pro crypto in general.
All right.
From a market perspective, I think we have not seen the end of it. It's going to go down more, but I think we're going to start to see an upswing within 18 months.
Latest and greatest in technology right here, especially spreading to Latin America. Appreciate you coming on the interview with us.
Do it, Cassius.
$1 Million Minute with your boy Cassius Cuvée here at Money 2020, and this one's for the XRP Army. As you can see, I got Ripple behind me. They got a big presence here at Money 2020, and I'm going to define the word bag holder. A lot of us in the XRP Army, I'm a bag holder myself of XRP. I just actually came from the XRP Apex, the conference out here in Las Vegas a little while back. A lot of us here, we know what bag holders are, but I'm going to explain it to the people who don't. That is a crypto that could be a stock too, but it's something that went up. You bought in because you believe in it, and maybe it dropped, and now you're holding the bag. But there's a lot of us that are proud bag holders because we believe in it long term, so you can be holding those bags until they come back. And that's what I also mentioned in my song, I Could Lead You to the Money. I'm talking about how filling up your bags. So we're bag holders already. The price drops, maybe we'll fill up those bags a little bit more. And then we're gonna take it to the moon in the future. And that's what's popping.
Company is Swap Block, and we're in 5 states. We have employee in Pennsylvania, Oregon, Washington, Texas, and Colorado. What we're doing is exchange. It's autonomous, peer-to-peer exchange. No central exchange, no liquidity pool, no bridge or pipe or someplace that liquidity builds up and it's out of your control and it's subject to being taken, subject to disappearing.
Okay, and so is this a DEX?
I would say not. Maybe if you interpret it as fundamentally, yes. It's distributed, it's decentralized, it's cross-platform. So you can have decentralized exchange like on Ethereum, where you trade tokens and such, but this is beyond this. What we're talking about is taking Ethereum crypto and trading it for Bitcoin crypto. So it's much more than just the on-platform trading. It's between platform.
It's cross-chain.
Cross-chain, exactly.
This sounds like some very interesting stuff. On Poppin Crypto, you know I always bring you the latest and the greatest. So we're going to see where you're going to be in 2 years, like I asked you already, and we're going to follow up.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Oh, sorry. But the part I love is that your name rhymes with the name of the company. So how about that? This is why he loves rappers.
Schecter Collector, baby.
Schecter the Collector. All right, see, we already got the first opening line for the rap about their company. All right, listen, we're going to get into the interview here.
Yeah, so the name of our company is Total Collector. We're a SaaS technology company that provides businesses the ability to collect money using all omni-channels outside of live agent. So we're located in Michigan, we're located in Toronto, Ontario. I want every piece of debt in the world running through our software. That's where I see us 2 years from now. But realistically, we just want good partnerships, good companies to come on board and use our software.
Tell us just real quick a little bit more about what your software does. I know you use artificial intelligence, right?
We use artificial intelligence, yeah, to reach out to customers using text, email, push notification, WhatsApp, Messenger, IVR, reaches customers the right time of day, the right mode of communication. And then we provide a full portal where consumers, debtors will come on, pay their bills, negotiate their debt, whole nine.
All right. In the future, how will your company reflect any integration with blockchain tech?
I don't know.
That's a fair answer. That's a fair answer right there.
So to be honest, I actually have an answer. We allow our customers, like our businesses, to actually pay using crypto and blockchain. So as an alternative payment option.
All right, there we go. So we're going to see how that all unfolds. But here at Money 2020, what are your goals?
To get more customers, more channel partners, more partnerships, get our name out there, name recognition, meet people like you, do interviews like this.
Have some fun with it. That's what I like to say. Okay. Speaking of fun, we're going to jump into the lightning round real quick. So let's give it a try. Your top 3 cryptos and why?
Top 3 cryptos and why? I mean, I think I only know 3 cryptos. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I don't know. I heard Ripple's pretty good, but I don't know much about it.
Ripple has a booth here, as a matter of fact. So maybe you can go talk to them. They're right over there. Excellent.
Yeah, shout out to Ripple.
All right.
It's a tough question. I don't think we've seen the bottom of any markets. No, I think there's going to be quite a shit show coming. I can't speak on crypto because I don't know the bottom of the crypto market. But I think there's more. I think there's going to be a debt crunch. Hence why we're helping people with debt. I think that there's still some bumpy roads ahead.
$1 Million Minute with your boy Cassius Cuvée here at Money 2020, and I'm going to tell you about cold storage wallets. I'm standing here right in front of Arculus. They provide a cold storage wallet, but cold storage is one of the best ways to save your crypto safely offline. And what you're really doing is saving the private keys offline. It means they're never connected to the internet. So two of the most popular cold storage wallets are Ledger and Trezor, but Arculus is also here at Money 2020, and they're another alternative, and that's what's popping.
Yep, so our company is Arculus. Our headquarters are in Somerset, New Jersey. And Arculus is a hardware wallet. Your keys are generated and stored in a secure element on the card, so it's completely offline and secure. I see our company integrating with a lot of different partners. We have offerings of crypto cold storage plus a payment card, opening up crypto to a wider audience and allowing people to have one card that can both function as your payment card and your cold storage wallet. We use blockchain tech now, and we're definitely ready to keep up with any advances that come in blockchain and continue to integrate forward with all of the new advances that will be emerging. Our goals are definitely to get out there and tell people about what we do. In addition to just cold storage, we also have a B2B option where we can do any white labeling of our card and our mobile app. We also have a authentication utility, so we use FIDO2 as an authenticator. So you could have a payment card that's also a FIDO2 authenticator, so it can be used at a payment terminal and also to log you into your bank, or be used as a step-up authentication if you're sending large amounts of money. Our goal is to bring security to a larger amount of people.
Are you going to give us an example of how all this works? Can we film you doing that?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. Yeah, so this is a FIDO demonstration. So if this was my mobile banking app and I wanted to log in and I set up my FIDO card to be my authenticator, I would just simply log into my account. It's going to ask me for my card to do passwordless login. So I tap my card, and just like that, I can view my balances. If I want to transfer any money, I can go ahead and send from my checking to a bank. And say I set my my step up as $99. So if I send more than $99, I want it to ask me for my card to make sure it's me. So I'll send 100. Now it's going to ask for my PIN. I'll type in my PIN, and then it's going to ask me to tap my card. It'll verify my PIN and do a FIDO authentication, and my money was sent. So it's a super easy way to do more secure transactions.
Okay, listen up. This isn't $1 Million Minute. For context, we are at the biggest, most important fintech conference in the world. The tickets cost over $4,000 to get in here. Regular folks who work a 9 to 5, they're not going to be able to come to events like this. The reason I'm doing this, the reason I'm coming here and bringing you guys information is I'm doing this for the people who wouldn't otherwise be able to get this information. And one of the things I've been seeing when I'm here, there's kind of a common theme along with all the banks and the fintech companies. They all want faster, cheaper, and a lot of them borderless payments, cross-border payments to come through. Now, what does that sound a lot like? Sounds like blockchain. So I would say about 75% of the different businesses I've spoken to are all looking in some way, shape, or form with blockchain integration or working hand in hand with it. Not everybody, but they all talk about how they see that future technology coming. Blockchain technology is real, and I need everybody who may not be privy to the information and the insiders and where the big money flows, but this is institutional money here right now. They got all the money. That's all the big banks and stuff. If you see where they're going and what they're looking into and what they're investigating into, it behooves you to also get involved. The good thing about cryptocurrencies is that you don't have to wait. You can actually participate right now. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and buy anything specific right here, right now, but what I'm saying is you definitely want to educate yourself on it, because these banks and these financial institutions, they are doing it. They're looking into it. They're finding out ways of doing it. They have a lot of regulatory constraints right now that we don't necessarily have as an individual. You can buy crypto, you can store it in your wallet. I made a video about cold storage wallet. You can do things like that right now. I definitely want to make it clear that one of the main reasons I'm here is to kind of give you guys some insight into what's going on into a place that most of us wouldn't otherwise be able to get into.
company is High Globe. We're based in Menlo Park, California, and we are all about global payments without transaction costs. We see ourselves as the #1 provider of cross-border payments. Well, we use stablecoin as the middle layer. We're fiat, stablecoin, fiat out. So we are a big buyer of the stablecoin USD. Our goals are to form some very nice partnerships, meet people like you, have a good time. The bottom of the market could be approaching us shortly, and then we're going to be a big upsurge because this is about the future here. Well, we're the first company that is charging a subscription fee for a global payment service. Everyone else charges a % of transaction. Therefore, that makes us different, special, and cheaper than the competition. And we're also a sandwich company, fiat in, stablecoin, fiat out. So people don't need to get bogged down by the complexity of the crypto. They get their money faster and cheaper, and that's the bottom line.
I want to ask a little bit harder questions though. So who is the customer that you're going for? Do regular people utilize your product? Who is your customer?
Our audience are the freelancers abroad, and the programmers and the independent contractors. That's our global audience.
I'm Lindsay. This is Atomic. We are based in Salt Lake City, Utah. We build payroll connectivity. In a nutshell, it enables consumers to set up and make changes to their direct deposit, and as well as access income and employment verification data straight from a payroll system, as well as do things like tap their earned but unpaid wages and pay back and switch their bills. 2 years from now, I see us unlocking a whole new swim lane of opportunities in fintech. You haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what payroll connectivity can do, not just earned wage access, but being able to fire your bank when they don't make the right choices financially for you, being able to personalize your relationships with your money. I see us having a huge role on where you, me, and everybody at this conference bank and are becoming more financially well. We actually already have some integrations. So if you want to work with a Coinbase, or you want to set up an account and you want to start to move your money into that, you can actually make a fractional direct deposit switch. You can also get paid in crypto. And for those of you that are most excited about, having that relationship across different wallets, like I see us being able to play an interconnected role for you to be able to get paid how and when and where you want. My goals are to have fun, be able to have new conversations like this one, educate the market as to what we are building with payroll connectivity, and really just remember why we all came to Money 2020, which is about connecting and being real with one another.
And look who I have standing right here with me, Mind Your Biz. I just seen him interviewing Bobby Lee, the legendary Bobby Lee, who's over there doing a book signing. But how's Money 2020 going for you?
Phenomenal. Honestly, this show, what I love about it is that everything that cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain, Web3, everything that it stands for is not present here. There's this massive vacuum of thought leadership. And Cassius, that's why we're here. So for me, I'm absolutely in my element because I'm at comfort with discomfort, and I love being in environments like this where I see there's an opportunity for us to provide that thought leadership. So I'm in heaven right now.
And you're a lot like me too. Obviously, I know a lot of people here at this event don't look like me. So I'm over here talking to everybody who wants to talk to me about their projects, and then also what it is that they plan on doing with blockchain technology in the future. I would say so far about 75% have said that some form or fashion going to be integrating with blockchain, or already have already. And they're at we're at a fintech conference with big banks, and so that's pretty interesting to me. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that the fintech companies that are not already getting something on the roadmap in terms of bare minimum sort of the legacy blockchain, cryptocurrency payments such as Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and at least some basic ERC20 tokens, they know they're already behind. So they're kind of like, they're not very proud of that, but they do have to at least admit, like, okay, well, it's on the roadmap, and we're going to get to that, because all the payment processors, all the legacy payment rails that you see here at a fintech show, like, they get it. We've been asking for it for years, and when you and I show up to a show like this, and we're like, hey, we represent the people, we represent the Bitcoin community, the broader Web3 community, they're like, oh, yeah, we have to have an answer for that. So I like that is something that's present here, but there are a few companies that are actually like properly building Web3 rails. And I'm really here to try to find those as well and really give them all the love and all the attention that I can possibly give them, because if they're building right now, then Cassius, they're serious. Yeah. And we need to take them seriously in the coming months and years.
Right, and I know you're big on education, right? And we educate the people as well as what we do on our YouTube channels, etc. But you can also educate some of these banks as well about how they can benefit from blockchain technology and how they can leverage, the technology to work with the people, which is what you were just talking about.
Absolutely, yeah. So as far as some of the banks, some of the financial custody institutions, because to be very clear, here at a FinTech show at Money 2020, you got every tier of player. You got from the closest to the central banks, the retail banks, and then a lot of the partner banks. You got all these different tiers of custodians, all these different tiers of money handlers, of money transmitters, of financial services, of payment services. So every single one of those tiers of service provider, they need to hear from us like, oh yeah, this is the pain that I feel as a crypto person using your product. And they do need to get that face to face. They do need to see you in person and say like, oh, like, yeah, this guy exists and he's gonna show up to these events now. So shout out to Money 2020 for giving us those media badges this year, which is great. I feel like they did the right thing. But yeah, these groups, they need to hear from us in person. And so shout out to Cassius and the others who came to the show. We'll see in the coming weeks who publishes media from Money 2020 and who actually showed up. But anybody who actually made the effort, I think, is one of the real ones. So shout out to you.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. We've definitely done a lot of interviews, asked people a lot of questions, just a lot of lightning round stuff to kind of test where they are with blockchain technology, learn about their companies, but also spoken to different people just to find out, like, why are you here? What do you plan to take away from this? And because what I'm going to take away from it is different than what the next person's going to take away from it. But also we're here to bring it to the people who can't afford a $4,000 ticket, the people who work 9 to 5s, the people who don't have a say in what goes on in institutional banking and don't know what's going on, don't know what's coming. Some people don't really know that blockchain technology is real. It's real. And the fact that they're talking about it in these banks, like this is major banks, institutions, and like, oh, I work for a big bank and, we probably won't do anything and Warren Buffett sits on my board, but in 2 years we're going to have something. You know what I mean? Like it's a real thing, and that's definitely something to hear directly from them. You can't like get that any other way.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, being here, there's no replacement for displacement, like they say in automobiles, and it's true IRL too, right? Like, you got to get out of your seat. You got to get into this space. No replacement for displacement. IRL is the new IRL. Like, it's not going away. But yeah, like you said, it's a $4,000 ticket.
All right, are you giving a shout out to my song IRL? For the people who don't know, I have a song called In Real Life IRL.
Yeah, I mean, go check it out.
Cassius Cuvée. That's right on. My man right here, Mind Your Biz. Great interview, man. I appreciate you.
So I'm a crypto private eye. That's one of the main things that I do. And the reason that started is because I was really big into consumer protection. And actually I was training law enforcement, banking compliance professionals, and attorneys to do continuing education. Because I figured this is like one of the biggest gaps, right? Is that these are the people that are gonna help the victims the most. And if they don't know how to do it or they don't know what's going on, then everyone's going to be left out in the cold.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of scams in crypto. Yeah. People get their stuff taken, and then another thing is even the recovery businesses are scams, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
If you were a victim and you were scammed, right, what you're going to want to do is try to find somebody to help you. A lot of times the exchanges or the OTC desk, they'll just say, hey, sorry, you sent your crypto to somebody, there's nothing we can do. Then that forces the victim to go online to look for help. Well, at the top of the Google ads, right, is a recovery scam. First option recovery. If you see them, stay away from them.
Real quick, I always say this too, like you just do it on Google and you do a search and it says ad at the top, because I've seen this for MetaMask as well. Just skip past them.
Now, the way we do our investigations is it's synonymous to car repair, right? Because this is something people know. If you have a car and it's making some weird noise or leaking some fluid, you don't know what it is, you take it into the shop. And then they don't go like start working on your transmission. They got to diagnose the problem. They got to figure out what it is. We do what's called an initial analysis. And that is us being able to determine what happened to your crypto, right? So we'll do a 15-minute free consultation with the victim, and that helps them understand what their options are. And then if they're ready to move forward, then they give us all of their data and all their transactions, and we only charge for labor. So we look at where everything went, and then there's 3 things that can happen, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what I call them. The good is if the coins end up or your tokens end up on an exchange. That's your best situation, because then law enforcement can freeze those assets, seize those assets, and give them back to you, right? That's the best way we can do it. Second way is what we call bad leads, and that is like, let's say, like a crypto exchange in China. They're not held to the same standards as U.S. law, and they're not going to comply with U.S. law. So if U.S. persons or law enforcement ask, hey, who owns this account at this exchange? That company doesn't have to give it, right? So that's what we call a bad exchange. Sometimes they do, so you might get a good lead out of it, but you don't know, so it's kind of a bad lead. And then we have dead ends. Those are your coin mixers, your tumblers, right? Or even a decentralized exchange, because the decentralized exchange doesn't take any information about the user. So we don't know who that account holder really is.
But in that case, you could still see the coins in the wallet though, right?
Correct, so you can still track the coins, which is the best thing about crypto, right? Because if we use dollars and we were doing something illegal, we just go on our separate ways and nobody knows. But the blockchain doesn't forget. And so that's why I even tell people, I'm like, look, if you're not comfortable moving forward with doing an investigation right now, that's okay. The blockchain's not going anywhere. All your data's still gonna be there. So take your time, think about it, no pressure, come back if you're ready. And then the second benefit is because we can't always guarantee that, one, we can find a good lead or that there's gonna be an actual chance for recovery. But the good thing is if you have a forensics report, like that details all the situations that happened with your crypto that you lost or was stolen, you can then claim that as a loss on your taxes starting in 2024. We've all heard of the, I lost my keys in a boating accident, right? You heard of that one? Right, so that is, the IRS, when they heard people saying that, they basically put a memorandum on being able to claim crypto losses through nefarious means, like lots. But if you did it through trading, of course you can claim it, right? So now what I tell people is, if you lost money, do the report now because it's fresh in your mind, you have all the details, we can process this for you, and then when it comes time to be able to claim the loss on your taxes, you already have the report.
And just to be clear too, this would work for NFTs as well, right? I mean, NFTs is still a token. So if someone has your NFT, because I heard about a friend of mine unfortunately got his most prized possession NFT stolen, probably a phishing attack. It's the same deal, right? You can find out where the NFT went.
Yeah, absolutely. The NFT is an ERC 721 token. Other NFTs, like on a Solana or whatever, those can all be tracked too because they're essentially a single token.
All right, I think I'm going to have you come on my Twitter Spaces. We're going to start a Poppin Crypto's Twitter Spaces coming up here because privacy and security is very important. I appreciate you coming on and talking to us about this kind of stuff. And, man, you never know you're going to run into at Money 2020, so that's what's popping. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée here at Money 2020, and we're running into the legendary Adam. Now, Adam is big into the Web3 game. He knows all the crypto influencers and everything like that. But at Money 2020, we're doing something a little bit different with Web2 wanting to get into Web3. And Adam, I want to know about some of your observations that you're witnessing here.
Hold on. First of all, my homie RC Crypto, sneak up. This is RAMEEL. This is RAMEEL O'Connor. He played in the NFL for the Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers and Dolphins. Yeah, no, I'm a nerdy tech guy, crypto guy.
MOONWALKERS, man. Tell me a little bit about your
MOONWALKERS ecosystem, full ecosystem of mom and pop token, but it's doing well. It's been around for 8 months. So here we are, and we're about to launch a surprise NFT of an NFL Hall of Famer pretty soon in November.
What blockchain is it on?
We're on everyone, but we're on MOONWALKERS token is on BSC. Yeah, accessibility.
Let me have my interview, RC. Shit.
All right. All right, see, man, you never know who you're going to run into here at Money 2020 with Adam, because Adam knows everybody already. So we was talking about how Web2 companies are interested in getting into Web3. What are your observations here you see on Money 2020?
Oh, man. So I do work for a company that deals with a lot of Web2 companies. I'm talking big Web2 companies. Like if you go in your fridge, you open up your fridge, we work with some of those guys. Like probably the ones that are in the side of your fridge and the crusty ketchups and stuff. The point is that they probably shouldn't be getting into Web3, but they are. But here's the interesting thing. When these Web2 companies come into Web3, they make it up in their mind how they think it works, what they think an NFT is, what they think the metaverse is, and not how it actually works. For instance, none of them know it's security. None of them know that NFT can be qualified as security. And they do, when they commission these projects, they are basically commissioning blatantly illegal things, such as fractionalizing an NFT to allow you access to a presidential suite. That's called a timeshare, which is illegal in most states, especially with floating assets. And the biggest fallacy, Web2 companies entering Web3, and this is where you come in, Cassius.
All right.
Yeah. So they overestimate their existing audience's knowledge. They just think they're going to figure it out on their own. They won't. Spoiler alert, they won't. And they also overestimate the Web3 audiences, which is the target audience they want to attract, right? Like their reputation. They think that Web3 is going to be, oh my God, this Web2 company, they're awesome. No, they're not going to care. They're going to be like, oh, this cash grab come in. So like they overestimate their own audience, like ability to do their own research, while simultaneously also underestimating like how the Web3 audience is going to perceive them. There is a way to get around that.
Right. So what you're describing right now is there's kind of still a large divide between Web 2 and Web 3.
Yeah, but you're the divide.
I'm the bridge.
You know how you're the bridge?
I'm going to bust a rap for him.
That's correct. And what's that going to do, man?
It's going to educate folks while entertaining them, so it gets attention and hopefully brings...
Hold on, I'm doing an interview now. So you mean to tell me that, let me just pick something off the top of my head, I may work with, I may not. When Coca-Cola, they have, I don't know, those polar bear, Santa Claus, like holiday cans. They want to put a QR code on that can to give people an NFT because, you know, you think someone's watching a football game, drinking Coke, they're going to scan, I got an NFT. I got another. I got another. I got another. Now all of a sudden they stop collecting and they want to know how to get the rest. Well, you got to buy 24 packs of Coke. Well, now you just given what could be considered security to, you know, a couple million people who had no idea what an NFT or Web3 even was, and now they need to learn. So you're saying that you're going to rap about Coca-Cola making holiday cans of the polar bear and the Santa Claus and giving them out to normal people so they get the first NFT that educate. This is what you got. Here's what you do with it. Here's how you take those reserved NFTs and connect it to an actual wallet and then sell them on OpenSea and then maybe take some of that money and put it into Bitcoin and start getting financial skills. You're going to rap about that.
Let's go. Coca-Cola, holla at your boy Cassius Cuvée.
So you need to educate that audience that already buy Coke, right? Or are already playing Fortnite or are already subscribed to TurboTax or what's boringer than that? What's boring? We're at a fintech comp. It's all boring, bruh. But yeah, so you need to educate them. You also need to combat the FUD from all your Twitter folks and people who've been in this industry for a long time, you know, just straight DJs, not even straight DJs, but just people who, like, they live and breathe crypto. They want to come in and FUD it. So you need to be able...
FUD, just so people know, FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
So you're going to have a community that exists prior to entering Web3. So all these companies behind us, when they get a Web3 product, they need a community that's already there, that already want them to exist, that are already hyped about their existence, so that they can onboard the existing user base. So that when these Coca-Cola drinkers come in, they get these NFTs, and then what do I do with this? Look to join our Discord. There's already like 5,000 crypto fiends in there telling, hey, you got the NFT, which one you got? Awesome. Do you know you can put that on OpenSea? You know what OpenSea is? It's awesome. It's how you make money off these things. Then you can invest in Bitcoin or crypto and, you know, better your life, you know? And then we start talking about staking metaverse land and opening up a virtual strip club, you know, all from Coca-Cola. It goes places, people. It goes places.
So you know he's got some good stuff to say if we really sit down and focus. But this guy knows what he's talking about. He gave us some great game today here at Money 2020. I'm going to lead you to the money. My man Adam, he going to get us in for free. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée here at Money 2020, and look who I'm standing next to right now. We just got out of the Ripple party, and I'm with my man, the one and only Ben Armstrong, also known as BitBoy Crypto. What's poppin', Ben?
Not much, man. Just here at this money conference talking to these bankers. What's up?
One of your favorite things to do, I'm sure. Yeah, I also was telling them about my new song, I Can Lead You to the Money, where I actually give BitBoy a shout out on that song because that's where I learned the game from. And you know, I like to always give credit to where I learn things because that's all we can really do. And so I wanted to ask you just a couple of questions.
Yeah.
What's really been going on lately in crypto? I've seen you've been real worked up, real fired up on your channel. let's get what's on your mind.
Yeah, so I think what people have to understand is there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes you can't see right now. And there's a lot of people that are bad actors, and they're trying to manipulate crypto and move it in the direction that they want it to. Whereas you can tell someone who's authentic about crypto and the decentralization, because we're always looking for ideas on how to decentralize it. How can we make it so that there's not one person at the top making decisions? So even when you find people that are doing things like pushing bills, we have a bill that we've authored. The whole thing is not to make crypto laws. It's about how to choose the mechanisms to make those laws through in a decentralized way. So I think what's got me really fired up, obviously, is SBF, and a roundabout way I learned that he's basically trying to create a federal bit license, which if you're from New York, the bit license is the worst legislation in the history of crypto. And so there's people out there fighting for this right now. And I know it's fun to talk about price and crypto going up and bear market and bull market, but the real stuff that's going on behind the scenes right now is what is going to leave a lasting mark.
Well, one thing I want to ask you about that, so let's say for like the regular folks right now, right, other than voting every 2 years, like what is it that you think we can do to voice our opinion about that or have a say, actually have a sway in issues like that?
Yeah, I think the number one, obviously, like you could call your congressman, you call your senator. Does that do anything? I don't know. I don't know if it does or not. But there will be in the coming months things coming out that are going to be directions in which the regulation is going to move, and then retweet. Talk about this legislation. If there's stuff that you like about it, make sure you're talking about it, because the social component is much more important than you calling your senator or your congressman. So the whole thing is there will be a time very soon where people will have to decide which side, they'll have to choose which side they're on in crypto. It's going to be happening. In America, it's very scary what could happen. And you might say, oh, well, people can just move to Dubai, or crypto companies can move to Dubai. Yeah, they can. And guess what? The banks here that are driving a lot of this legislation, they don't care. They say, fine, move. Do crypto somewhere else. We don't want that. We want crypto to be very friendly in the United States. And so, it is the thing that you can do is just support the people that are trying to move this forward and fight against those that are trying to move us backwards.
Right, and that's one of the things I like to do on my show, Poppin Crypto, is just spread awareness to everything that's going on. Like you say, retweet. Always retweet, you guys. You got a good story or something you think is valuable information, share it. I always try to encourage people to share it. I'm always retweeting your stuff and a whole bunch of other good crypto information for sure. Because Celsius was a bad actor, and I don't know how much they got from you, but they got a lot from me, and then they doxed everybody, so you can go on there and type people's names in and see how much they got. And it really pissed me off because also I told someone else to put money in Celsius. You know what I mean?
Think about how many people I told to use Celsius. And people will look at this and say, oh, well, you were getting money from ref links. No. 99% of the time we talked about Celsius, it was from a standpoint of it's such a legit platform, you can trust it. Like, we didn't have to do any promotion because we used it. We had $3 million on there. It was $15 million in the bull run, and it was down to $3 million, and it's gone now. And it's this kind of thing where when it comes to crypto influencers, people who have voices in this space, we did an extremely bad job at trusting third parties. Celsius obviously fits within that. Then the next bull run, when more users are coming, we've got to do a much better job of preaching hesitancy. There's a percentage of your portfolio that you can put on a place like Celsius, not Celsius, but don't ever put so much on one place that if it goes insolvent, you're broke. Like it breaks your portfolio. So I think really that's what we have to do in the space, to have a better responsibility of teaching people the concepts, and then they can take that and do what they want from it. I can't help it if somebody wants to throw all their money on Celsius, before it went insolvent. We had money on there. I think that to me is the biggest proof that we had faith in it, and it sucked for us, for sure. We're still dealing with repercussions from it, and I think Voyager people are going to get most of their money back. I think Celsius people will end up getting less than half back, 30% maybe what we're looking at. So that may be favorable. That may be good.
I was going to say I'd be happy with 30% instead of nothing. But the main thing is right. I've been preaching hesitancy about that. I'm everything in the wallet, just like I say in the song, because, it was a shocker at the time. I actually was standing right next to Alex Machinsky in Miami when he was doing his speech at a Celsius party where he's breaking both of his arms to pat himself on the back, talking about how regulators came in and up his ass so much there's like a proctologist and all this kind of stuff. And they didn't find anything. He literally told me this to my face, and I filmed him. So that was like, I don't know, it just hits different when you actually are personally standing right next to the guy.
We all feel betrayed by him. Yeah. Like, we feel stabbed in the back because I'm right in the same boat. I interviewed him several times. He had me on his show a couple weeks before this broke. And it was like, you know what, though? I noticed when I was on that show on the Celsius channel, it's like something's a little bit different, because he was trying to control what I said before we went live. He said, you know, he's like, well, what do you want to talk about? I said, well, you know, I want to talk about how like we're in a bear market, and I think like, you know, we're in November in a couple days, but back then that was, I guess, back in May. And I said, I think we're going to bottom sometime in November this year. He's like, no, don't talk about that. We want to talk about like good things, positive things. We don't want to talk about the price going down more. I was like, that's so inauthentic. Like, that's not real. And it was the first time I ever heard him say stuff like that, and it gave me a little bit of pause. And then when everything broke a couple weeks later, I started adding up like, and that's one of the things where you just have a moment where you feel like something's not right, just go with your gut. I should have went with my gut and done a little more investigation on it, but it's because I liked him so much and I trusted him so much. And you know how it is, it's like, if you have a family member who's got a bad drug problem, right? Like, and you see them and you kind of know, you're like, they're not doing good right now, but you don't want to go ask them, because if you ask them, you're going to feel like, I don't even want to bring this up right now. It's, you know, that's kind of how it was with me and Alex with this thing. Like, I heard some rumors, but like, I know him, I love him, I didn't want to bring it up, but I should have. I should have went with my gut. I should have listened, and we could have warned more people. And guess what? Maybe I wouldn't have lost all my money.
Right. Well, I mean, that's something hard to know. I do want to put it on kind of on an optimistic note, right? I know we're in a bear market. One thing I talk about in my song is, yeah, we're in a bear market, but things are down right now largely because of the macro environment, right? You know, a lot of stocks are down to the other, you know, thing on the markets. What do you think?
No, I think that's false.
Okay, what do you think?
I think that's obvious that people would think that. But what's really interesting is, especially being at this money conference and talking to people about the macro and how it relates to Bitcoin, Bitcoin follows a 4-year cycle. Okay. Every 4 years, during the midterm election years, Bitcoin bottoms for that cycle. So that bottom should be around the end of this November, about a month from now, maybe beginning of December. If Bitcoin does not drop down to $10,366, let's say it just drops to $14,000 or $13,000, or maybe we've already hit a bottom, this would actually be percentage-wise the lightest bear market in history. So when you're looking at the macro is the worst it's ever been. And yet, for Bitcoin, this would be the lightest percentage bear market ever. You got to wonder, how much does the macro really have to do with Bitcoin? I think that's a real question people got to ask.
Is now the time we start dollar cost averaging and to start buying the dip? That's what I'm getting at. People are afraid things are down right now, but it's also an opportunity is how I look at it.
It's only an opportunity. I remember person after person back in 2018 that said, man, when Bitcoin drops to $3,000, I'm going to mortgage my house. You know what happened? Bitcoin dropped $3,000, $3,200. You know what happened? Nobody mortgaged their house. The amount of fear that comes in at those levels is immense. That's why the people that have been here for a long time and been in the space, they're the people you need to listen to, because we've seen this before. We know the numbers. We know how this plays out. I definitely do believe dollar cost averaging right now is definitely a good move. It may not be the best price you're going to get, but it's a good price.
I think we're closer to the bottom than the top.
Well, yeah.
I appreciate talking to you, man, and being in the music video too.
Well, you know, like I've been known to spit a couple bars myself. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna spit a couple. Okay, we're gonna have to get him on the next track for sure, right there. That's what's popping with your boy Cassius Cuvée out here. Let's get it. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée, and we're wrapping up Money 2020. Pretty successful event. Talked to several groups, almost all the booths, banks, fintech companies, and different things surrounding banking. And I asked them if they had any plans on integrating into blockchain technology in any way, shape, or form in the future. I would say about 75% said that they had, one way or another, or already were incorporated in blockchain technology. So I think that's actually a pretty high percentage. But what it tells you for sure, blockchain is real, and it's here, and it's coming. So it behooves you to educate yourself about it, learn about it right now. I know not everybody can afford a ticket to come to events like Money 2020, but that's why your boy Cassius Cuvée is here for the people, for the working man, for the working woman. I'm going to bring you the cutting edge on what's happening with technology and finance, so that way you can also stay ahead of the curve, because with inflation ticking up this high, you got to get an edge any way you can and learn how to invest. I want to say thank you to everybody I met in Las Vegas. I had an amazing time, and this is Cassius Cuvée with Poppin Crypto.